2020 will easily go down as one of the worst years in the history of the world, and we don't say that lightly. Just about every kind of tragedy you could think of happened in that year. Natural disasters that ravaged countries, a pandemic that has taken the lives of countless people, and of course, the deaths of very many beloved celebrities. The celebrity world was hit very hard during 2020, and some of the deaths that happened to us were so shocking it just didn't seem real. So allow us to show you celebrities that 2020 took away from us far too soon. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 9. Brodie Lee. Brodie Lee was a wrestler who was in companies like WWE and most recently AEW. He was a powerful wrestler with an intimidating presence and a clothesline that made people flip end over end. In AEW, he was the leader of the Dark Order, became a champion not too long after entering the company, and had a few memorable matches in his time and battles with Jon Moxley and Cody Rhodes. He was taken from us the day after Christmas due to a lung issue that he had been battling for apparently months. It was later revealed that he had been hospitalized since October, but asked his friends in AEW to keep it quiet. The outpouring of love from the wrestling community was enough to make anyone cry as they mourned the loss of their brother in wrestling. He was only 41 years old when he passed. AEW did a special celebration of life to Mr. Brodie Lee the Wednesday after he died, even allowing his son to get in on the action, as it were, and AEW owner Tony Khan retiring the then current TNT Championship, the belt Brodie had won in the company, and giving it to the family so that he can be TNT champion for life. Number 8. Stan Kirsch. Stan Kirsch died very early in 2020 at just 51 years old. TMZ reported that Kirsch took his own life. Kirsch was most famous for starring as Richie Ryan on the original Highlander TV series for 6 seasons. The TV show's official Facebook account honored Kirsch, writing in part that he was nothing but kind, thoughtful, and sincere, adding, although Richie Ryan's life was cut short on the show, there was little more to see. Richie Ryan had evolved into his own man, and it was Stan's performance that made it true. Kirsch, who also starred in Jag, had memorable roles on General Hospital, Invincible, and Friends, got his first acting role at just 4 years old in a Campbell Soup commercial. He was working as an esteemed acting coach in Los Angeles, California at the time of his passing. His death is hard because many felt that he still had a lot to give, and yet he took his own life. Number 7. Grant Imahara. Heading now to the world of science, fans of the show Mythbusters were stunned when their longtime co-host and science lover Grant Imahara died at the age of 49. What was just as shocking as his death was that he had died of a brain aneurysm, something that seemed to go against the incredible brain that this man had. Grant wasn't on the Mythbusters team originally, but he was brought in during season 3 and became an esteemed and beloved member of the build team. He was their robot expert, electrical engineer, and so on. Grant loved being on Mythbusters, mainly because he knew that this was a show that could really teach people the wonders of science, and it was fun how they portrayed the myths. The entire Mythbusters team gave tributes to Grant after he passed, and he is still very much missed by them. Number 6. Kevin Green. Let's go now to the world of sports. Another heartbreaking loss was that of Hall of Fame football player Kevin Green at just the age of 58. Green was feared in the NFL as one of the greatest pass rushers to ever play the game. He was third in all-time sacks, which is pretty darn impressive and more than enough to get you a Hall of Fame spot. Green was also known for his smile and hair. He had long and flowing locks that made him not exactly a mean-looking guy, but yet he could blitz with the best of them and ensure that he got the sack when he needed to. Many players, coaches, and analysts paid tribute to him. Number 5. Mark Bloom. Mark Bloom, star of Desperately Seeking Susan, died on March 25, 2020 from complications of the coronavirus, according to a friend who spoke with the New York Times. He was 69 years old. Bloom was a New York City theater regular both on and off Broadway. He's also known for his roles in Crocodile Dundee, Shattered Glass, 12 Angry Men, The Good Wife, The Good Fight, and Netflix's You. With love and heavy hearts, Playwrights Horizons pays tribute to Mark Bloom, a dear longtime friend and a consummate artist who passed this week. His theater company, Playwright Horizons, tweeted, "Thank you, Mark, for all you brought out to our theater and to theaters and audiences across the world. We will miss you." Number 4. Alex Trebek. Another very sad death from 2020 came in the form of Alex Trebek, his fame forever tied to the game show Jeopardy that he hosted for decades. Alex Trebek was an icon and known for his charm, wit, and never being afraid to challenge the contestants on the show, no matter how smart they were. Alex Trebek believed in doing good in the world. He did numerous bouts of charity and tried to help people however he could. He died at 80 years old after fighting pancreatic cancer. His final episodes of Jeopardy aired recently, and many are hoping that whomever replaces him continues to provide the viewing audience with charm, love, and a presence that'll make you never want to say something that's not in the form of a question. Number 3, Pop Smoke. The music world was one that was especially hit hard in 2020, as many members of the rap world had their lives taken in one form or another. One of the biggest ones being Pop Smoke, a very prominent up-and-coming rapper who many felt would rise to the top one day. But it was not meant to be, as he was the victim of a home invasion that would take his life. His family said in a statement, "Every prayer, call, and act of kindness is deeply appreciated as we mourn the loss of our son, brother, and friend." Brooklyn knew him as Beshar. He was educated and nurtured in Brooklyn, and his rise to fame all developed from the place he proudly represented. Within the last year, his extraordinary giftedness was revealed to the world, introducing Pop Smoke. The men who took his life worked hot, and they have been charged with his death. Number 2, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, the legendary NBA player and Laker legend, died tragically with his daughter in a helicopter crash in January of 2020, and his death still haunts many. Kobe was an absolute legend in basketball. He was a major personality that was the face of the league in many ways for many years. He is a 5-time NBA champ, former MVP, and multiple-time All-Star. He is considered one of the greatest Lakers ever, and the entire NBA and beyond came to pay tribute to him. So much so, the NBA basically shut down to honor him and give the players and teams time to mourn. They paid tribute to him in an All-Star game by doing a special game after his number of 24. Basketball games had a special Mamba edition for people to get to honor him, and so on and so forth. He will be missed, but the Lakers gave him one last tribute by winning the NBA Finals, which no doubt made Kobe smile. Number 1, Chadwick Boseman. The death of Chadwick Boseman was something that was not just tragic, it was heartbreaking and yet inspiring. Chadwick Boseman died of colon cancer, one that was in stage 4 at the time of his passing. That is an incredibly painful cancer and one that most people can't tough out. But as we would learn, not only did Chadwick tough it out, he did multiple movies, including his Marvel films as Black Panther with this cancer, and no one knew about it outside of certain people and family members. Yes, Chadwick Boseman was such a boss that he was able to keep his illness a secret from everyone outside his family and closest friends because he refused to live his life in a crippled state. He wanted to keep working, he wanted to keep living his life, he refused to let it keep him down, and that is just inspiring. But it is still heartbreaking, because we all now have to wonder, what if? He was going to do Black Panther 2, and probably be more prominent in the next Avengers film. Plus, he was very much an in-demand actor that was doing all sorts of deep and interesting roles. What might he have done next if he wasn't taken away from us all too soon? So what do you think? What do you think of this look at 2020 and how so many celebrities were taken from us before their time? Which of these celebrity deaths very much hit you the hardest? Which ones left you stunned when you heard they had passed away? Can you still not believe that they're gone? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the channel.